Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're starting a deep dive into the life and, well, the really powerful poetry of Mak Dizdar.
Yes, a remarkable Bosnian voice from the 20th century.
And we're using insights from Mak Dizdar's paths in poetry, among other sources you shared. The mission, really, is to see how his personal journey through such a tumultuous time shaped his unique work.
Especially his masterpiece, Stone Sleeper.
Right. And we want to dig into what his words, specifically in the poem Paths, can maybe tell us about identity, resilience, that kind of search for truth.
It's fascinating, how inseparable his life was from Bosnia's own dramatic history. He was born Mak Dizdar, 1917, in Stolac.
A region that was just constantly shifting politically back then.
Exactly. Austria-Hungary, then the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes. So that instability, plus losing his father, young World War I injuries, and moving to Sarajevo, it really set a tone.
And you see that independent spirit pretty early on, don't you? Writing in high school using the pen name Mak.
Yes. And his first collection, Vidovopoljska 1936, it faced immediate censorship.
For social critique. So right from the start.
Right from the start, he wasn't afraid to push back.
That independent streak, well, it got tested severely during World War II.
Oh, absolutely. He was working secretly with the partisan resistance, but this time also brought just unimaginable personal tragedy.
His mother and sister.
Yes, Nazira and Rafika, arrested by the Ustasha regime, the fascist forces, and killed in the Jasenovac death camp.
Just devastating. It's hard to even imagine carrying that kind of loss. You have to think it shaped his view on, well, everything. Vulnerability, resilience.
It absolutely did. It's key context for understanding the depth in his later poetry. After the war, he went back to journalism for a bit, helped establish Narodna Prosvjeta.
Which was a pretty important publisher.
Crucial, for Bosnian writers and texts. Showed his commitment to the literary scene.
But even then, that independence, it caused friction. What happened in the mid-50s?
Well, there was a controversy in '56 over an award for a novel by a Muslim author, and he lost his job. The publisher was shut down.
Wow. So real consequences for not towing the party line.
Definitely. Especially on issues touching Bosnian identity, it was clear political pressure.
Okay, so facing that, he turned more towards poetry.
Exactly, more intensely. And that period, well, it led directly to Kameni Spabić Stone Sleeper in 1966.
Which isn't just a book, it's seen as a cornerstone of modern Bosnian literature, right?
It truly is. And Stone Sleeper is where he digs deepest into Bosnian identity, suffering, drawing really powerful inspiration from the Steci.
The medieval Bosnian tombstones.
Precisely. They're not just grave markers, they're loaded with symbols, inscriptions from this hidden ancient history. Dizdar saw them as symbols of a resilient, deep culture.
A culture often overlooked or suppressed.
Yeah. He spent years actually collecting and studying old Bosnian texts, inscriptions, bringing that medieval world, its concerns about life, death, faith, resistance, back into the light.
So using these ancient stones to anchor contemporary Bosnian identity in something much deeper, something that survived all the upheaval.
That's the core of it. But expressing Bosnia's unique fate so courageously, well, it wasn't always welcomed.
By the authorities, you mean?
No. It led to significant persecution from the party's cultural apparatus. Some, like Muhamed Filipović, suggested this constant pressure, this fight, might have even contributed to his early death.
He died young, didn't he?
Yeah.
54.
Yes, tragically young, a huge loss. It shows the real cost of his artistic courage.
Okay, so having set that scene, let's turn to the poem Paths. It seems like a really vivid example of these themes. You feel a confrontation right away.
You do. There's this tension, speaker versus an unnamed opponent. And the key idea is that the opponent is limited.
How so?
They only know the conventional routes, the paths walked, the visible stuff from eyes and heart. But the poem calls these paths small, even pathless.
Whereas the speaker exists in this, vast, timeless space, from distant yesterday to distant tomorrow.
Exactly. The opponent can't find the true path because they just don't get the speaker's real nature. There's that line, you don't know who you are dealing with.
Underestimating the speaker's depth, their hidden richness. And that line about inner conflict.
The hardest truth and real wars flow within you. Powerful. The opponent is stuck in the here and now, blind to the speaker's bigger reality.
And that feels incredibly connected to Dizdar's own life, doesn't it? His fight for independence, connecting to that deeper Bosnian history through the Steci, resisting those external forces.
It absolutely resonates. It's like the poem is saying, you see the surface, the official roads, but you miss the vast, complex truth of who I am. who we are rooted in something far older, deeper.
So putting it all together, Mak Dizdar's journey, it really shows how profound art can come straight out of intense struggle, personal and historical.
Yeah. Through symbols like the stechi, poems like paths, he voiced this resilient identity, one rooted in hidden depths.
And connecting that to the bigger picture, his work kind of challenges us, to look beyond the obvious past.
To find real understanding and to maybe recognize that the biggest fights, the hardest truths, are often internal.
Which leaves us with a question, maybe. What paths in our own lives, whether understanding ourselves or history or others, might we be missing because we're just sticking to the well-trodden surfaces?
You know the roads, but they are not all. You resolved to erase me at any cost, and yet you charge toward me, weeping, smiling, destroying all in your path. You resolved to erase me at any cost, but you cannot find the true path to me, because you only know the roads already taken. And those roads, though harsh and long for you, are nothing but narrow detours. You only know the ways that pass through the eyes and hearts, but that is not all. There are paths before us, untouched by trucks, unseen by trains, beyond time, beyond expiry. You fool yourself with certainty, thinking the road to me is charted, coming from the left or the right, north or south, but that is not all. A plague, your eyes keep seeking me. The wind howls beneath the branches, from the earth's roots where darkness dwells. From infinite heights, it presses on your chest, harder and harder still. But that is not all. You do not know the law of crossing between light and shadow. But that is not all. You do not see that your greatest battles burn within you, and you are the smallest of my evils among countless greater ones. You know nothing of my maps. You don't know that your path to me is not the same as my path to you. You know nothing of my richness, hidden from your powerful eyes. You cannot imagine that destiny has gifted me far more than you ever dreamed. You tried to destroy me at any cost, but the real road to me will never be yours to find. Understand this. You are a human, bound to time and place, living in the here and now, but knowing nothing of eternity, nor the temporal space I dwell in. I am here from a distant yesterday.